ألف لام ميم ذلك الكتاب لا ريب فيه.
بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. الحمد لله رب العالمين والصلاة والسلام على نبينا Muhammad وعلى آله وأصحابه أجمعين. Let us inshallah continue with the Quranic diagrammatic overviews. We nearly completed Surah Jathiyah yesterday. We started it, the Juzz 25. We will just briefly take each section. We will just read to each section instead of going through any ayat. So let's just recap. Central theme of Surah Al-Jathiyah. The Aziz and the Al-Hakim, the most able and the most wise, Allah has created the universe for a purpose. This is being explained through Quranic proofs, and we have mentioned the proofs in the past. Instead of ridiculing these, you should accept the invitation to Tawheed and Akhirah and believe and leave material worship. So we looked at the first section yesterday. The second section, as I said, we will just read through it, comprises of ayat 7 to 11. The mushrikeen of Makkah and their arrogance, their ridiculing and their shirk regarding seeking help has been mentioned, meaning making dua to other than Allah. Making dua to other than Allah is like making dua to nothing. It is not heard because nothing to hear it or respond to it. Then the next section, ayat 12 to 15, proofs of gratefulness and historic proofs from the days of Allah. We have mentioned this on many occasions, especially in ayah 14, Ayyamullah. What did we mean by that? Ayyamullah, very quickly. Nice and loud. Yeah, the days of Allah. So what does it mean? The days on which Allah He punished the previous nations. That's what it refers to. So there are more proofs from history there. The next section, section 4, comprising of 16 to 20 the ayat, the objective of the Sharia of the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam, after that of Bani Israel. Yeah. So this was to make sure that everything was then put back right, because people disputed. Yeah. They started to have ikhtilaf. And ikhtilaf is not a positive attribute to have, it's a negative attribute to have. So the Prophet ﷺ Sharia is there to now bring everything back to the right path. No more ikhtilaf. Everything has been resolved now by following the Sharia of the Prophet ﷺ. Okay. The fifth section, comprising of ayat 21 to 25, this is a dialogue with the atheists who follow their desires. The main thing mentioned here really is that they think we just live and we die. This is just a cycle, a process that has just randomly occurred, and hence there is no beginning, there's no end, there's no hereafter. It's just all material, relative, doesn't really matter. So that has been discussed here, and they have been told that you are just following your desire rather than contemplating the signs that this Quran is presenting to you. Okay, then moving on to the next section, 6, ayat 26 to 35, it mentions the conditions on the last day. And it tells us the result of those criminals who are arrogant and were ridiculing the message and the messengers, just like in the past. And finally, the section finishes with praise and magnification of Allah, the Aziz, the Al-Hakim. So that is very briefly to go through Al-Jathiyah, because this was something remaining. Let's now start the Juzz 26 from Surah Al-Ahqaf. Now, as usual, introductory section is for you to write down. Today you need 6 columns. We haven't had 6 columns yet, so you might want to turn your paper from landscape to portrait, maybe, if that's of benefit to you to take notes. Inshallah. So, Al-Ahqaf. So the first column will be Al-Ahqaf. Then you will do Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, Fath, Hujurat, or maybe this might be easier if I show you the surah names. This might make it easier for you. So here we are, Al-Ahqaf at the top. You can see now on the, Bismillah, on the top of the screen there, yeah, Al-Ahqaf. Then Muhammad, then Surah Fath, Hujurat, Qaf, and Ath Thariyaat. So these are 6 surahs, yeah? Now, in the column for Ahqaf, the link. So we are trying to now establish the links, the rawabit between the surahs, these 6. Yeah. The first one, Ahqaf, there is mention of the direct destruction from Allah, meaning through an adhab, a punishment, a flood, a thunderbolt, an earthquake, etc. This is direct adhab, yeah? In Surah Muhammad, this connects to the adhab in that the adhab came or comes but in a different indirect form. The indirect form is that of the believers becoming the instrument of that adhab being placed out. Yes? So they actually execute the adhab. That's the first link. Second link you want to put in Surah Muhammad is that Allah, He tests the believers by commanding them to do jihad and to spend infaq. Yes, so Allah tests through His command to do jihad and to do infaq, to spend in His way. This is then linked to Surah Al-Fath. It talks about the abundant booty that will come as a result of jihad and infaq. As a result of jihad and infaq. The third bullet point in the column of Surah Muhammad is bukhl. Allah Ta'ala is commanding you to do jihad, to strive in His cause, to convey the message, and He is telling you to do infaq, to spend in the cause of Allah. But if you do not, which means you are miserly, bukhl, then Allah Ta'ala is saying at the end of Surah Muhammad that He will change you for another nation. Yeah? Yastabdil qawman ghayrakum. He will change you with another people if you refrain from this. This is then linked to Surah Al-Fath. Asad, write the notes, good. This is mentioned in Surah Al-Fath by mention of these people who didn't go to the Umrah with the Prophet ﷺ, and they assumed that these people they're going to Hudaybiyah, they won't come back alive. So we're not going. So they did bukhl. They were miserly in that they didn't put themselves forward. Yeah? Bukhl is not just of money. You can be being miserly with your own activities, your own abilities to go forward. Okay, we move on then. The link now between Surah Al-Fath and Surah Al-Hujurat. This last point that we mentioned, them not putting themselves forward, is then mentioned in Hujurat in that Islam and Iman are not the same things. قَالَتِ الْأَعْرَابُ آمَنَّا. The Bedouins say, we have believed, we have become mu'min. It is said to them, now you have not become mu'min, you have become Muslim. Because Iman has not entered your hearts. So the difference between Islam and Iman has been highlighted here. And then 5 qualities of the people who have true Iman. We will look at that, inshallah. Okay. Now, Surah Qaf. If you make in that column, you write, rational proofs for the Akhirah are given in this surah. Surah Qaf. Yes? And then what you need to do is the following. You know where your column started, yeah? Ahqaf, Muhammad, Fath, Hujurat. Yeah? You need to put a bracket. Yeah? Okay? Coming down, a big bracket coming down. And next to that bracket, you need to write all of this that has been mentioned, that you will become, you will do jihad, you will do infaq, you will spread the message, etc., etc. All of this is dependent on what is mentioned in Surah Qaf, which is Iman bil Akhirah, belief in the hereafter. If you don't have that belief, you won't spend for the cause of Allah. Why would you? Waste of money. Yeah? So all of this is dependent on Iman bil Akhirah. And then the last link between Surah Qaf and the next Ath Thariyaat. Beautiful link here. In Surah Qaf, Allah Ta'ala mentioned in the end, فَذَكِّرْ بِالْقُرْآنِ مَنْ يَخَافُ وَعِيدٍ. Remind with this Quran. So the key word here is dhikr. Dhikr, yeah? Dhikr. Remind with this Quran the people who will take heed of this wa'id, warning or promise. And that is linked to Surah Ath Thariyaat, in that Allah Ta'ala says, وَذَكِّرْ فَإِنَّ الذِّكْرَ تَنْفَعُ الْمُؤْمِنِينَ. Remind, verily your reminder, the dhikr will benefit the who? Who did we mention? Believers. Jazakallah khair. Good. Yes? So with that, hopefully you have now a connection between the 6 surahs that we are about to go through now. Yes? Okay? Good. Let's start then. Bismillah. Surah Al-Ahqaf. Period of revelation is the 10th year of Nabawi. This is after the journey of Taif, which was a very difficult time for the Prophet ﷺ. There is an opinion that this was revealed in the place called Nakhla. And this is the last of the Hawamim that we have been looking at. Hamim, yeah? Surahs, last of the 7. Okay, let's look at the central theme. Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. Believe in the Quran revealed by the Al-Aziz, the Al-Hakim. Take heed from the lesson of the mushrik people of Ad and become a caller and preacher of the Quran like the jinn. There's a beautiful section in here, and this is amazing, subhanallah. You know, many people think that, oh, I have to become, I don't know what they think, I have to become something before I can give da'wah. Yeah? This is from shaitan. Okay, because these jinns, they heard just one, you could say wa'adh, advice, once. Then they made it their mission to go and convey the message. And Allah Ta'ala, He's commending this in this surah. Let's then take it, inshallah, by section. The first section, ayat 1 to 3. The purpose of revelation of the Aziz and Al-Hakim, meaning what is the purpose of revealing the Quran? Let's take just the third ayah. أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم ما خلقنا السماوات والأرض وما بينهما إلا بالحق وأجل مسمى والذين كفروا عما أنذروا معرضون. So the whole objective of this Quran being mentioned is one word there, unziru, to warn them. It's a warning. Yes, this is the objective of the Quran according to this. Moving on then to the next section. Ayat 4 to 6. Invitation to the mushrikeen of Makkah that believed in Allah as Allah alone and as creator. They believed Him in His Khaliq, He's Khaliq. But now accept Him alone as the one to supplicate to and to worship. To make Him your ilah. They didn't have a problem with Allah being Khaliq. Ilah is the problem. So la ilaha illallah. That's what the whole dispute was. So let's just take one ayah in that regard, ayah 5. أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم ومن أضل ممن يدعو من دون الله من لا يستجيب له إلى يوم القيامة وهم عن دعائهم غافلون. So, and who is more astray than he who invokes besides Allah? Those who will not respond to Him until the day of resurrection, and they of their invocation are unaware, meaning that they are calling something that doesn't exist in the first place. They will realize this on the day of judgment, that I was just calling to something that didn't exist. So Allah Ta'ala is telling them about their supplication. They should supplicate just to Allah. Because ibadah is to follow Allah's guidance. Yeah? In everything. Udkhulu fi silmi kaffa, Allah Ta'ala says, yeah? The kernel with, not the general kernel, yeah? The kernel, Kernel. The kernel meaning the mukh, yeah? The inner core of ibadah is what? Do you know? What is the inner core of ibadah? Ad-du'a. Ad-du'a is the inner core of ibadah. Who you call, that is your ma'bud. Who you really trust that she can help me, becomes your ilah. That's it. So Allah Ta'ala is saying, only make Allah your ma'bud, the one who you worship alone. Khair. Moving on, allegations against the Prophet and the Quran. The two most common ones, iftara, that he has fabricated it, made it up, and that he is sihrun mubin. This is sihrun mubin, that this is a clear magic, because people listen to it and they change. Subhanallah. So this is allegations, and the allegations are not very different throughout history. Okay, moving on, fourth section, 12 to 14, the similarity between the Quran and the Torah, and an invitation to remain steadfast on Tawheed. So, Torah mentioned as Imam and Rahmah. Imam, that to be followed, and Rahmah as a blessing. Quran is the same. And every revelation was the same for the people. And then, remaining steadfast on the deen, let's take these ayat 13 and 14, where Allah Ta'ala, He is mentioning, subhanallah, and who can tell me, if I had a chocolate, I would give it to you, although you can't eat it until iftar. But if you can tell me the link, which surah does it link to? إِنَّ الَّذِينَ قَالُوا رَبُّنَا اللَّهَ ثُمَّ اسْتَقَامُوا فَلَا خَوْفٌ عَلَيْهِمْ وَلَا هُمْ يَحْزَنُونَ. Huffaz were here. Where else is this in the Quran? Which surah? Similar. إِنَّ الَّذِينَ قَالُوا رَبُّنَا اللَّهَ ثُمَّ اسْتَقَامُوا. Anybody? Hamim Sajda Fussilat. Allah Ta'ala is saying, أُولَٰئِكَ أَصْحَابُ الْجَنَّةِ هُمْ أُولَٰئِكَ أَصْحَابُ الْجَنَّةِ خَالِدِينَ فِيهَا جَزَاءً بِمَا كَانُوا يَعْمَلُونَ. The people who say Allah is our Rabb, but then they remain steadfast on it. They don't waver here or there when difficulty comes. They stick to it. Istiqamah is to cling onto something and to uphold it and to stand up straight, not waver. So Allah Ta'ala is saying, be like those people. Okay, moving on to the next section, 5. Ayat 15 to 20. The differing attitudes of a believing father and a disbelieving son, and the outcome of arrogance, sin, bad conduct and pride. This is talking about a father who is thanking Allah, and he has reached the age of 40 now, and he now has children. So he's thanking Allah for all the blessings that Allah has provided and his parents have provided, and now he is of mature age, 40, and he is asking Allah for a righteous child, yeah? So he's being grateful. The other example given here is of a son who is not heeding to his parents' advice to become Muslim. And he says to them, Uffil lakum. Yeah? Meaning that, woe to you. Yeah? Leave me alone. I don't want to believe in these things. So there's a comparison, and the attitude has been given. And then let's look at the outcome of pride and arrogance in ayah 20. وَيَوْمَ يُعْرَضُ الَّذِينَ كَفَرُوا عَلَى النَّارِ أَذْهَبْتُمْ طَيِّبَاتِكُمْ فِي حَيَاتِكُمُ الدُّنْيَا وَاسْتَمْتَعْتُمْ بِهَا فَالْيَوْمَ تُجْزَوْنَ عَذَابَ الْهُونِ بِمَا كُنْتُمْ تَسْتَكْبِرُونَ فِي الْأَرْضِ بِغَيْرِ الْحَقِّ وَبِمَا كُنْتُمْ تَفْسُقُونَ. So now the outcome is, and the day those who disbelieved are exposed to the fire, it will be said, you exhausted your pleasures during your worldly life and enjoyed them. So you've had your enjoyment. So this day you will be awarded the punishment of extreme humiliation. Because you thought you are very, very people of izzah there. Now you will have extreme humiliation. Because you were arrogant upon the earth without right, and because you were defiantly disobedient. So this is the outcome of these people. Moving on to the sixth section. Invitation to Tawheed by Prophet Hud alayhi salam, and the ridicule and refusal by the criminal and mushrikeen people of Ad. So this is very simple. We mentioned it many times. We just take one ayah to just revise that. So what happened to these people? فَلَمَّا رَأَوْهُ عَارِضًا مُسْتَقْبِلًا أَوْدِيَتِهِمْ قَالُوا هَذَا عَارِضٌ مُمْطِرُنَا بَلْ هُوَ مَا اسْتَعْجَلْتُمْ بِهِ رِيحٌ فِيهَا عَذَابٌ أَلِيمٌ. And when they saw it as a cloud, so they saw this cloud is coming, this is good. Yeah, it's coming, it's going to bring us rain, etc. Approaching the valleys, they said, this is a cloud bringing us rain. Rather, it is that for which you were impatient, because they were saying, when is it coming? When is it coming? So Allah Ta'ala is saying, it was that for which you were impatient. A wind within it was a painful punishment. So this is what happened to the people who ridiculed the Prophet. So the message here is being given to the Quraysh and the people who have not accepted Islam and Iman. Do not ridicule, because you will also then have to face the same consequence. Moving on then. Section 7, ayat 27 to 28. The inability and hopelessness at the time of destruction of the mushrikeen nations. So we will just mention that and move on. Section 8, ayat 29 to 32. This is the section really, subhanallah. Let's take this, the Quran, that the jinns listen to the Quran and straight away they become da'i il Quran. So let's take these ayats, 29. So what I will do, I will read the Arabic, you will read the English, yeah? Okay? So you read the English and I'll just read the Arabic. وَإِذْ صَرَفْنَا إِلَيْكَ نَفْرًا مِنَ الْجِنِّ يَسْتَمِعُونَ الْقُرْآنَ فَلَمَّا حَضَرُوهُ قَالُوا أَنْصِتُوا فَلَمَّا قُضِيَ وَلَّوْا إِلَىٰ قَوْمِهِمْ مُنذِرِينَ. So they went back being warners. قالوا يا قومنا إن سمعنا كتابا أنزل من بعد موسى مصدقا لما بين يديه يهدي إلى الحق وإلى صراط مستقيم. So after Musa, this has come as guidance. يا قومنا أجيبوا داعي الله وآمنوا به يغفر لكم من ذنوبكم ويجركم من عذاب أليم. So what is their da'wah? See, beautiful. Which Muslim cannot give this da'wah? Which Muslim? Every Muslim can give this da'wah, can't he? And she can say very simply, yeah, respond to Allah, the caller of Allah, meaning believe in one Allah, believe in Him, He will forgive you your sins and protect you from a painful punishment. That's it, simple your da'wah. It's not difficult, is it? You don't have to become alim, fazil, muhaddith. You don't. Yeah? Because Allah made it easy for us to convey the message. Okay, moving on. 9th section. The oneness of Allah in terms of Him being the creator as a proof for the akhirah. So there are some proofs in here that give us proof that Allah Ta'ala, He is the only one. Yeah? And many of these proofs we have already looked at. And the last section, advice to the Prophet ﷺ to remain patient and steadfast, and as a warning to the wrongdoers of destruction. So let's just take the last ayah of this surah, then we move on. Beautiful surah, beautiful section, this last two ayah. Fasbir. You remember the 4 things about sabr? 4 sabr? You remember, yeah? Remind yourself, yeah? فاصبر كما صبر أولو العزم من الرسل ولا تستعجل لهم. Allah Ta'ala is saying, be steadfast like the ulul azm, the previous messengers, yeah, that were before you, and do not worry about, do not be impatient for them, meaning their destruction or their hidayah. Don't be, yeah, just everything will come at its time. كأنهم يوم يرون ما يوعدون لم يلبثوا إلا ساعة من نهار. It will be on that day they see that which they are promised as though they had not remained in this world except for an hour of a day. Subhanallah, just like 1 hour. It took us 1 hour to set up today. That's how long the dunya is. Subhanallah, that's it. Not more than that. 1 hour just. That's it, gone. Subhanallah. Allah Ta'ala is telling them, Balagh. Balagh means this is the way to tell them. Convey this. This is the conveying of the message. فَهَلْ يُهْلَكُ إِلَّا الْقَوْمُ الْفَاسِقُونَ. And will any be destroyed except the defiantly disobedient people? After this balagh has come to you. But brothers, we have to be honest. Are we conveying the message? That's the problem, isn't it? The message is not being conveyed. We are the problem. We are the hurdle. The audience is there. You know, if you're a marketing manager, you look for niche market, yeah? We don't need to look for niche market. The whole globe is the market. It's like being in the middle of a shoal of fish everywhere. You just need to cast the net. But we don't cast the net. I don't know why, but we don't cast the net. You cast the net, and subhanAllah, then Allah Ta'ala, He will send the fish. We must cast the net. Otherwise, these people will ask us on the day of judgment, you did not invite me to Islam. You were very nice to me as a neighbor, but you didn't tell me about hellfire. You used to send me cake on Eid and Christmas, but you didn't invite me to Islam. And because of you, I'm going to hell. We can't afford that. This is serious matter. We need to reflect on that. Moving on, inshallah, to the next surah, Surah Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. Okay. Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. Now we are going to Madani, some Madani surahs. Remember the Makki Jannah, Madani Jannah? Remember? We are now entering into Madani. You see the difference? Makki always Tawheed, Risala, Akhirah, Jannah, Jahannam, Da'wah. Madani, the community of the believers and the biggest issue of nifaq and jihad, yeah? And then ahkam on how to live, etc. Khair, central theme before that, period of revelation is the 2nd of Hijri, so in Medina, yeah? This is before the Battle of Badr, and this is to motivate the Sahaba to strive, yeah? And it talks about the legitimacy of going to war against the Quraysh. So success in this life and the hereafter requires jihad with your wealth, which is infaq, and yourself, which is jihad. Okay, let's take some ayat here. In fact, no, not there, we're not going to take ayat there, just mentioning this. Explanation of the beliefs and relative positions of the disbelievers and believers. Allah Ta'ala is mentioning very simply, the believers, what they believe in is haqq, what the disbelievers are believing in is batil, falsehood. The believers are calling to the way, the disbelievers are stopping themselves and others from following the way. But if you accept the way, it is mentioned here, Allah, He will do two things. He will forgive you your sins, and before that, yuslihu balakum, He will improve your state of affairs. So the choice is there. Moving on to the second section, ayat 4 to 9, ahkam regarding war and the philosophy of jihad. Now we mentioned this before, just to recap, then we'll just take one ayah here. There, we mentioned already, the direct adhab comes through Allah Ta'ala's natural phenomenon, yeah? Indirect adhab came through the Prophet ﷺ and his Sahaba's hands. Yes? And why does it come? Because the messenger has the messenger. He is there, he has conveyed the message clearly, balagh, yeah? And then they have remained obstinate, arrogant, consistently for 10, 12, 13, 14, 15 years, knowingly. Then the adhab came, just like with the previous nations. Yeah, so we need to understand this. This is when this happens. You don't just, the Prophet ﷺ didn't just go and attack them, yeah? No, of course not. We have to understand this methodology, the prophetic methodology, throughout the Quran with all the Rasul, all the messengers. And this is to test the believers in their iman. Remember we mentioned in Surah Al-Ankabut. Who's Hafiz here? Hafiz Sab? Hafiz? Can you read us Surah Al-Ankabut, first few ayat? Oh, you didn't reach there. Khair. Anyone else here, Hafiz? I don't want you to run away if you're Hafiz. Yeah? Yeah, in the beginning of Surah Al-Ankabut, Allah Ta'ala says, does man, or do you think that you will be left alone and you won't be tested? You say, Amanna, we believe, but you won't be tested? Of course, you will be tested, definitely. So this is a test to see the believers from the munafiqun. And then it talks about, you must make sure that the enemy has totally been crushed so that they will not then return in battlefield. Yes? Otherwise they will then come back and they will start the whole issue again. You see, the whole philosophy of jihad is to remove the barriers between kufr and the people, to stop people, to give people the freedom to choose, real freedom, and then to exercise that freedom by actually living according to their belief, not having to live under some other tyranny or oppression. To give real, so the Sahaba, they were real peacekeeping people. You know, you have peacekeeping forces. They were the real peacekeeping forces, subhanallah. Because they didn't just do it as a job, they did it from their heart and their soul. They did it they really did it, they meant it. It wasn't just a job, it wasn't a paid job. And the last ayah we'll take for this section, the ayah we will take, not the last, we didn't take any ayat yet. Ayah 8. Ayah 7. Ya ayyuhalladhina amanu in tansurullaha yansurkum wa yuthabbit aqdamakum. Allah Ta'ala is saying, oh you who believe, if you help Allah's cause, then Allah will help you and He will make you steadfast. Yes, so if you want ithbat, if you want steadfastness, you have to help Allah's cause. What is Allah's cause? What is Allah's cause? Yeah, to convey the message. Convey the message to the best of our abilities. Khair, let's move on to the next section. 3, ayat 10 to 15. Okay. This is very beautiful, subhanallah. We just take the section, the ayat 10 and 11 regarding the people of belief and the people who they fought. Yeah. Subhanallah. You know when, I think after Uhud, Uhud, when the Prophet ﷺ and the Sahaba, they retreated up Uhud, yeah, then Abu Sufyan and Khalid ibn al-Walid, Abu Sufyan was boasting that a day for a day, that was your Badr, this is our Uhud, yeah. There were other dialogues as well, but one of them was that we have Mawla, Allahu Mawlana, wala Mawla lakum, but you have no patron, you have no helper. Allah is our Mawla, He is with us. So the same thing is being said here. ذَلِكَ بِأَنَّ اللَّهَ مَوْلَى الَّذِينَ آمَنُوا وَأَنَّ الْكَافِرِينَ لَا مَوْلَى لَهُمْ. Yeah? For the believers, Allah is a protector. For the people who don't believe in Allah, who is there to protect? Nothing. No protection. This also means it is as if Allah Ta'ala, He is the reinforcing force behind us. Yeah? He is the push behind us. We shouldn't fear then anything. But it's a matter of iman, isn't it? You have to have that iman, that yes, Allah is going to help me. That iman doesn't come sitting at home playing Xbox, does it? Huh? It drains the iman. It will come when you're outside actively participating in society, in the community, integrating in Islamic terms and conveying the message. Then it will come, inshallah. So Allah is Mawla. Moving on to the next section, section 4. The flight of the munafiqun from jihad. Yes, you will find in the Madani surahs a lot of this has been mentioned. We mentioned in Surah Tawbah as well, and many others. Just to go through a few things. When the people ignored the call of the Prophet, this seals the heart. That's number one. When a surah is revealed regarding qital, they look around as if they are about to die. They're so fearful of it. SubhanAllah. But Allah Ta'ala, He mentions, remember when the angels come and they will strike your faces and your backs, then it will be too late. And again, ayah 31. Yeah, it should say 32 that, not 22, yeah? It should say 32. Because it is a draft and as we are delivering it, inshallah we're improving it. Ayah 31, let's just take as a summary of what is trying to be said here. Subhanallah. وَلَنَبْلُوَنَّكُمْ. You know what وَلَنَبْلُوَنَّكُمْ means? We mentioned before to the Quranic students here. What does it mean? We will surely test you. Definitely we're going to test you. It's coming. That's what it means. Yeah? In Arabic. Hatta, until na'nam al-mujahideen minkum was-sabirin. Until we know who are the people who are going to strive and who are the people who are going to remain steadfast. وَنَبْلُوَ أَخْبَارَكُمْ. And we will test your affairs. Yeah? So to see, what will you do? Will you be the believers who said, this is what Allah and His Rasul promised, and what they promised was the truth? Or will you be like the people who said, Allah and His Messenger promised us victory, but where's the victory? This is headache. Huh? So the mu'min and the munafiq, very different attitude to the same situation. May Allah guide us and protect us from nifaq. Ameen. And you know what, subhanAllah, this is what we need to be very vigilant of. We shouldn't think that, these are Quranic ayat about historic events, that's nice to know and get on with life. No. We should reflect on these. Is there a situation, am I in a situation where I need to stand up and say something that's right? Am I doing something that's right or not? Am I calling people to what's right? Or am I, they will come, subhanAllah, you know, the Quran touches the heart. Allah Ta'ala knows all our excuses, yeah? All of them. One of them is, شَغَلَتْنَا أَمْوَالُنَا وَأَهْلُونَا. We were busy with our money affairs and our families. You call any brother, can you come and help out on this event? Family commitment. Brother, brother, working from home today. Subhanallah. When you read this ayah, wallahi, you become scared. That am I going to fall in that category of people that Allah has cursed? Because this becomes, I'm not saying, please don't take this wrong, yeah? This becomes a step towards hypocrisy, step towards. We need to be very careful, vigilant about these things. Quran is there to wake us up. Khair. Section 5, 33 to 35, guidelines for the believing mujahideen. Very simple. We'll just take one ayah on this, 33. Ya ayyuhalladhina amanu ati'u Allah wa ati'ur Rasul wa la tubtilu a'malakum. Very simple. This will be then elaborated in Surah Al-Hujurat. Make a note of it. Yes? Obey Allah and obey the Messenger and do not invalidate your deeds. As I said, we will talk about this in, make a note and remind me, Hujurat. What this means. And the last section, section 6, talking about appeal for infaq in order to be successful in jihad. Allah Ta'ala is saying to the believers, spend in the cause of Allah. Just take this one ayah, then we move on. إِنَّمَا الْحَيَاةُ الدُّنْيَا لَعِبٌ وَلَهْوٌ. Somebody was mentioning yesterday, does Allah mention la'ab and lahv? Yeah, I mentioned it to them yesterday, I think. The worldly life is only amusement and diversion. La'ib also means to play games. You know, football is la'ab. La'ibin, people who play. Yeah, I'm not saying that you can't play football. Yeah. وَإِن تُؤْمِنُوا وَتَتَّقُوا يُؤْتِكُمْ أُجُورَكُمْ وَلَا يَسْأَلْكُمْ أَمْوَالَكُمْ. And if you believe and fear Allah, He will give you your rewards and not ask you for your properties. So this dunya is not just play, amusement, Xbox, Wii, whatever, I don't know what else there is. But yeah, there's a time and place for that. You play half an hour maybe, not every day, every other day. What I say to my students in school is that if you're going to spend 1 hour playing Wii, you have to spend 1 hour reading Quran. That's it. Have a balance at least. So that whatever damage is there, you cleanse the damage as well, innit? And hopefully, inshallah, you'll become so addicted to Quran that this we and fi and she will no more. Eh? You will see it's boring. Yeah? Subhanallah al-Azim. Khair. Let's move on to the next surah, Fath. Beautiful surah, Suratul Fath. Fath means what? What does Fath mean? Huh? Fath means victory. Fatha. Muhammad al-Fatih. Have you seen the video, Muhammad al-Fatih? You didn't see the video, you have to see Muhammad al-Fatih. Sufyan, you have to read. And you have to watch Muhammad al-Fatih. It is a video, YouTube it. Muhammad al-Fatih. This is your homework. Nobody will give you video homework. I'm giving you video homework, yeah? Okay, good. He the victor. Okay, some initial points. 6th of Hijri, this is against, after the Treaty of Hudaybiyah. And you know what happened, yeah? The Sahaba, they went to Umrah. They were then stopped in the way at Hudaybiyah. They reached an agreement. This was Fath Mubin. This was a clear victory because after that they had 10 years of peace. 10 years of peace means da'wah. No interruption. Yeah? And then after that, this became a victory as well because when the disbelievers, a faction of them, part of them, one of the tribes, broke the treaty, then it was because of their breaking of the treaty that the treaty was broken, and then the Prophet ﷺ, he marched into Medina eventually. Okay, so glad tidings to the Muslims. Let's just take the central theme first. Glad tidings to the Muslims that the gates to victory and abundant booty will open following the treaty at Hudaybiyah. So as I already mentioned, this is a clear victory. This Hudaybiyah, which seemed like it was going against the believers, it was actually a clear victory by Allah, as the events showed later on. Then there is command to respect and honor the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam. Let's take these ayat, beautiful ayat, 8 and 9. Beautiful. This should be our connection with the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam. Yeah. Inna arsalnaka shahidan wa mubashiran wa nadhira. We have sent you as a witness, number one, and a guide. Inna arsalnaka shahidan wa mubashiran wa nadhira. We have sent you as a witness, number one, and a guide. bringer of glad tidings, number 2, and as a warner, number 3. When we meet the Prophet ﷺ, inshallah, we should be able to tell the Prophet ﷺ, I followed you in all these 3. He would be happy, innit? We'll be happy as well. But if we meet him and we say, well, Ya Rasulullah, I loved you, but I was a bit busy. What sort of response we will get? We don't want the response of the Prophet ﷺ where he will tell people to leave, go away. Yeah, because you invented things in my deen that I didn't do. We cannot afford that on the Day of Judgment. Please, we need to wake up. Yeah, we cannot become the people who say we just believe and then we just sit down and do whatever. No. Belief has to be translated into action. إِلَّا الَّذِينَ آمَنُوا وَعَمِلُوا الصَّالِحَاتِ. Allah Ta'ala always mentions this. Never you will find in the Quran just Iman. In fact, in Surah Hujurat we'll see, they just said we believe. Allah Ta'ala says, yes, say you just submit, you haven't believed yet, it hasn't entered the hearts. Because once it enters the heart, you can't control it, but it will do something, you will do things. You know, sometimes you're obsessed, you want to get a pair of trainers. Yeah? The latest trainers for Eid, let's say, yeah? You're obsessed, Googling, website, showing mum and dad, going to Sports Direct, because you got an obsession for it. Yeah? This is what will happen. When this Quran goes to the heart, you will become possessed by it, you'll be obsessed by it. You will not but want to convey this message, day and night. You want any day off, you'll feel something's missing. Wrong day. But that won't come sitting at home, watching just Peace TV. You're good to watch Peace TV, yeah? But not just watching it. You have to be involved in it. Huh? Peace TV, inshallah, is the trigger. And every other thing that triggers you, that's good. But don't think this is my Islam. I just watch entertainment, Islamic entertainment, just 3 hours I'm watching, then I go to sleep every day. What is this? If it's not motivating you to do something, there's an issue somewhere. May Allah Ta'ala guide us. So what do we do with the Prophet ﷺ, our relationship? لِتُؤْمِنُوا بِاللَّهِ وَرَسُولِهِ. So we believe in him, number 1. وَتُعَزِّرُوهُ. We honor him, sallallahu alayhi wasallam. وَتُوَقِّرُوهُ. We respect him, sallallahu alayhi wasallam. وَتُسَبِّهُ بُكْرَةً وَأَصِيلًا. And exalt Allah morning and afternoon. Not the Prophet ﷺ, yeah? We love him, we follow him, we respect him, but we worship Allah. Clear distinction, abd and ma'bud. Khaliq, makhluk, different. Khair, moving on. Third section, ayat 11 to 17, warning to the munafiqun for leaving nifaq. They should leave nifaq. Once ayah, let's take, and then we move on. Allahu Akbar. This is the ayah I was mentioning. Scary ayah. سَيَقُولُ لَكَ الْمُخَلَّفُونَ مِنَ الْأَعْرَابِ شَغَلَتْنَا أَمْوَالُنَا وَأَهْلُونَا فَاسْتَغْفِرْ لَنَا. Those who remain behind of the Bedouins will say to you, our properties and our families occupied us. We were busy. This happened, that happened. So ask forgiveness for us. Ask Allah to forgive us. I just try to read the translation, yeah? They say with their tongues that is which is not in their hearts. This is nifaq. Say, then who could prevent Allah at all if He intended for you harm or intended for you benefit? Rather, ever is Allah of what you do aware. Why do people not come out and do dawah? Why do people not come out and do things? Why do you think? So why excuse, why? Busy, yeah? Because they didn't understand, in Surah Tawbah we mentioned, Inna Allah ashtara. Allah, He has bought. Bought what? From us what? Our lives and our amwal. Our amwal is what? Property. He has brought everything, whole package. It's all His. It's all His anyway, yeah? Because He gave it to us. But He gave, look at His mercy, He gave it to us so that we could use what He gave to us to give back to Him to go to Jannah. Is there any better deal than that? Who would, any shop give you Apple laptop and say, you just bring it back, I'll give it to you. I'll give you the whole shop, I'll give you the whole store. Will they do that? No. Allah Ta'ala is doing this. Because we don't have the belief, the yaqeen in this hereafter. The belief in the hereafter needs to be hammered into us through this Quran. Nothing else will do this, nothing. Impossible. There's a beautiful couplet in Urdu, I'll just translate it for you. That this Iman is not something that you can go and buy in the market. Can't go and purchase, you can't go on eBay. Iman. Can I buy Iman please? No. The person who wants to find it will find it in the pages of this Quran. SubhanAllah. All Quran here. SubhanAllah. Iman is waiting to be taken. We need to indulge in it. Khair, sorry, going off topic sometimes. Astaghfirullah Rabbi min kulli dhanbi wa atubu ilayh. Okay, going on to the next one. 4. Allah is pleased with the companions of the Bay'ah of Ridwan. So they made a pact because now they went to do Umrah, but they now have to be united in fact in case they have to now have some sort of fight. Yeah. So let's make a pact. This is the Bayt Ridwan that the Sahaba did with the Prophet ﷺ. At that Allah Ta'ala, he is saying that Allah Ta'ala's hand is on that, meaning Allah Ta'ala blesses it. Yeah. Allah Ta'ala, He's blessed this. Allah is happy with this. And it's called Bayt Ridwan. Ridwan means the one that Allah is pleased with. Allah is pleased with this bay'ah, this contract, agreement. And the last section of this, the deen has come to be dominant. This has been mentioned in 3 surahs in the Quran. In this surah, in Surah Tawbah, and we will see in Surah Saf. Let's take these ayat and then we move on to the next surah inshallah. Ayat 28 to 29, beautiful ayat. We'll just take, in fact we will just take this one, yeah? Just one ayah we will take because of the time. 28. Listen to this carefully and think. هو الذي أرسل رسوله بالهدى ودين الحق ليظهره على الدين كله وكفى بالله شهيدا. It is He, Allah, who sent His Messenger sallallahu alaihi wasallam. With what? With guidance, number 1. And Deen al-Haq, the true religion, the Deen which is Haq. What for? لِيُظْهِرَهُ عَلَى الدِّينِ كُلِّهِ. So that it will become dominant over all other adyan. And Allah is a witness to this. Meaning Allah, He is bearing witness that this will happen. Many ahadith about this, but if you inshallah attend the Quranic framework course, then inshallah we go through this properly, in detail. But no time for that, unfortunately. Khair. Beautiful ayah, but if I start that, then I will end the whole session with this ayah, so I have to stop there. Moving on, Surah Hujurat, beautiful surah again. Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim. Let's try to summarize it, although this is part of the QFC course as well, this whole surah. So we take this whole surah in about, I think 2 or 3 hours to explain this surah. Because this is beautiful surah, subhanAllah. Al-Hujurat. What does Hujurat mean? No, that's Hijrah. Hujurat. Hujurat. Hujra is like, you know, the brothers, they are in the Ahqaf, small apartment. Hujra. Hujurat, the apartments. Apartments of who? The Prophet ﷺ and his wives. Okay, beautiful. Let's take the principle of collective Muslim community, yeah, regarding the Prophet ﷺ. How should we as a global community regard the Prophet ﷺ? Because he is a role model, yeah? This is beautiful. First ayah, Ya ayyuhalladhina amanu, la tuqaddimu bayna yadiy Allahi wa rasulihi wattaqullaha inna Allaha samiyun alim. This is the most important thing. Oh, you have believed, do not put yourselves before Allah and His Messenger. Meaning, do not decide a matter until Allah and His Messenger have decided. I think, my opinion, no. Allah Ta'ala and His Messenger. Because what will happen, yeah, in this ayah, remember I mentioned your deeds would be in vain? This is what will happen. لا ترفعوا أصواتكم فوق صوت النبي. If you raise your voice over the Prophet ﷺ's voice when he is alive, or you say my opinion is this, Prophet's opinion is this, yeah, but my opinion, no. Submit to his guidance. Because if you do that, all your deeds, remember I said big 0, multiply by 0 is 0. So never ever, this is disrespect to the Prophet ﷺ. Because his status, Allah gave him the status of Rasul. Khair. Let's move on to the, subhanAllah, this surah is wrong to do it this quickly. May Allah forgive us. SubhanAllah. There are some instructions then given in this surah regarding our social methods as a community. Because this community, remember, yeah, in Surah Saf we will see as well tomorrow inshallah, that Allah wants the community of the Muslimin to be very, very strong together. In order to be strong, you need to do some things and you need to refrain from other things. Make a note of these things. First thing, so make a note, list, bullet point. Amirul Mu'minin, inshallah, do it. Bismillah. Verify a piece of news when it comes to you. Okay? فَتَبَيَّنُوا. When somebody comes with an unreliable source verify the news, number one. Don't act upon it. Verify the news, number one. Make reconciliation between two groups of Muslims that are in dispute or in fighting. So make reconciliation, islah. Yeah? That's number two. So verify a piece of news and then make islah between two disputing groups of Muslimin. Then three things we shouldn't do. Yeah? Three things we should not mock. La yaskhar. Don't mock each other. Even if you think it's just a joke. And I sincerely say to you, these my brothers and sisters, because when you're young, you're a teenager at school, college, uni, you think that's what everybody does. It's just a joke. Don't joke. Don't joke in a way that it may even potentially upset the person. That's the principle, yeah? Don't do that. So don't mock each other. Do not insult each other. Yeah? Don't insult each other. Do not give each other bad nicknames. Yeah? Don't give each other bad nicknames. Okay? This is, subhanAllah, this is big. Allah Ta'ala didn't mention this, but because it's a big deal. It hurts the heart. Your friend might listen to you for 10 years, but 11th year gets upset. Says, forget you, man. I don't want to know you anymore. I've had enough of you. Breaks the community, doesn't it? So, not to do that. Three other things we shouldn't do. We shouldn't be suspicious. Always trying to look into people's affairs. Oh, what's happening there? La tajassasu, Allah Ta'ala said. And we should not have a negative assumption regarding our brothers and sisters. For example, he came late. He always late because he doesn't want to come. No. Don't make that assumption. Make assumption, a good assumption. He wanted to come late, but the bus was late. Make a good assumption for him or her, yeah? So, good assumption, no spying and no backbiting. Let me give you the definition of backbiting now, yeah? ذِكْرُكَ أَخَاكَ بِمَا يَكْرَهُ. To mention your brother, yeah, in a way that it would upset him. It's very simple. Especially when he's not absent. Sorry, when he's not present. When he's absent. Even if it's true. Because the Prophet ﷺ asked this, wasn't he? And this is what happens, isn't it? I know this from my experience at school. Shouldn't backbite. But say it's true. Straight away you get that response. Prophet ﷺ said, that is backbiting. To say something about somebody that would not, he or she would not like to be said about him or her, and it's true. This is backbiting. If you do something, if you say about somebody who's something that is not true, this is buhtan. This is allegation. This is allegation. This is worse. Yeah? So, not to backbite. And backbiting is like eating the dead flesh. Khair, moving on. This section 4 talks about the distinction between Iman and Islam. Let's just take what real Iman is, yeah? And ask Allah Ta'ala to give us that real Iman. Ayah 15. Pay attention to this please, inshallah. Innamal mu'minuna. Yeah? Innamal mu'minuna means the people who have real belief, yeah, is only these people. Okay? Who are they? Alladhina amanu billahi wa rasulihi. They believe in Allah and His Rasul. Thumma lam yartabu. And then they have no doubt. They never doubt it. They are certain about Allah and His Rasul. No doubt. No matter what allegation, what comes, Yep. And then وَجَاهَدُوا بِأَمْوَالِهِمْ وَأَنفُسِهِمْ فِي سَبِيلِ اللَّهِ. Then they exert themselves to their utmost with their selves and with their wealth. أُولَٰئِكَ هُمُ الصَّادِقُونَ. They are the true believers. Allah Ta'ala is saying they are the true believers. The other people, they claim, but they're not true to the claim. And jihad has many, many facets. You have jihad with your nafs, you have to fight your nafs with the shaitan, with society, yeah, etc. There's so many jihads. But you need to strive your best, to your level best, in order to do what Allah wants. This is how jihad is about, to do what Allah wants. لِكَلِمَةِ اللَّهِ هِيَ الْأُولِيَةِ, as said the Prophet ﷺ. Okay, we have 2 surahs, but we cannot go through them now. But let's just go through the brief. In fact, let's do something very different, yeah? Let's try, inshallah, to do something very different, which may cover the 2 surahs without us having to cover them. Inshallah, or maybe not. I will leave you to, inshallah, read this, maybe, because I can't go through that right now. Let me give you the central themes then for Surah Qaf and Surah Ath Thariyaat. Surah Qaf gives us rational proofs from the history of denial of messengerhood. It gives us guidance to remain steadfast, glorify Allah and praise Him, and to pray. And it reminds the Quraysh of the Jahannam and the Jannah through the Quran. Beautiful section in Qaf, yeah, about what will the believers get in Jannah and the adhab in Jahannam and on the Day of Judgment. Beautiful section, but unfortunately no time. And Ath Thariyaat, it talks about the resurrection and accountability, that it will occur, and you should ponder over the Quranic proofs and believe in the resurrection. Again, many things mentioned here. Purpose of life is mentioned here. Many ayat are given in Zariyat, many ayat from nature, from around us, what we can see. The people of Jannah are mentioned, people of Jahannam are mentioned again here. People are called to turn back to Allah. Purpose of life is given here. That mention of وَذَكِّرْ فَإِنَّ الذِّكْرَ تَنْفَعُ الْمُؤْمِنِينَ. Remember the reminder benefits the believers. وَمَا خَلَقْتُ الْجِنَّ وَالْإِنسَ إِلَّا لِيَعْبُدُونَ. Allah Ta'ala reminds us that He did not create man and jinn except to worship Him alone. So, many things mentioned here. But khair, we cannot unfortunately go through that. So I will leave this as homework for people to inshallah study and read the translation and the meaning. So we ask Allah, again, Allah give us the guidance, guide our hearts, our minds, our souls towards this Quran, to believe in it as it should be believed in, to recite it as it should be recited, to act upon it as it should be acted upon, and before that to understand it as it should be understood, and to convey it as we should convey it. And with that we come to the end. Subhanakallahumma wa bihamdik, ashhadu an la ilaha illa anta astaghfiruka wa atubu ilaik, wa jazakumullahu khairan.